It's the Security Weekly News, and it is episode 419 on Friday, the 4th of October. Can you believe that? We've got Perfctl, I don't know, warm cookie, pig butchering, Ivanti, Zimbra, BabyLockerKZ, AI's gone wild, Aaran Leyland, and more on this edition of the Security Weekly News.
This is a Security Weekly production for security professionals by security professionals. Please visit securityweekly.com/subscribe to subscribe to all the shows on our network.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
It's the show that keeps you up to date on the latest security news twice a week. Your trusted source for accurate security information and expert analysis. It's time for the Security Weekly News. ThreatLocker implements a least privileged approach to cybersecurity, blocking every executable unless specifically authorized by your team. This methodology mitigates ransomware, supply chain attacks, zero-day exploits, and ensures 24/7, 365.25 protection for your organization. To learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent known and unknown threats in your digital environment, safeguard your data and operations from threat actors, and align your organization with respected compliance frameworks, visit securityweekly.com/threatlocker. In 2024, the future of identity, security, and digital transformation converges at Octane, hosted by Okta. On October 15th through 17th, join the brightest minds in tech and business in Las Vegas or online as they explore groundbreaking innovations and unveil the latest Okta solutions to keep your organization secure, connected, and ahead of the curve. Whether you're a developer, an IT or security leader, or a visionary, Octane is your gateway to transforming tomorrow today. Security Weekly listeners only need to pay $100 for your full conference pass for Octane by using the discount code OKTNSC24 at securityweekly.com/Octane2024. And you can stream the event live on okta.com/Octane. All right, from the island of Elba, it's the Security Weekly News. I'm Doug White. Hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment, or I'm going to have to sell my hair. That's coming soon. All right. Users in France have been targeted by compromised websites to show fake browser and app updates that spread a new version of Warm Cookie. And if you don't know what Warm Cookie is, it's a rat that was first found back in 2023, and it basically is a Windows backdoor. It's been heavily used in phishing campaigns for many different ones, including their most favorite one was fake job offers as lure, like, hey, we'd love to hire you at $500,000. I saw one of those not too long ago. And they were like, it said they were paying $675 an hour. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to click that. But I don't think so. It also didn't seem like a job that would pay, $15 an hour. But, it was like all I had to do. Yeah. But I didn't take it. But this campaign is called Fake Update. And the fake update campaigns are often used by it. They did not associate this, but they said it sounded like the group Sokolish, which is a very common one that does this all the time. And Sokolish is well known for using compromised websites, or they create fake websites that are either typo squatted or puny coded or something to show update prompts. And in the past, they've used web browsers, Java, VMware, Workstation, WebEx, and Proton VPN, as and the list goes on. If the user clicks the update, they have gotten from Sokolish in the past info stealers, crypto wallet drainers, rats, or ransomware. So they basically just do all kinds of things. But GenThreat Labs said that this latest one is using Warm Cookie, and it's being distributed by fake Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and Java updates. And the reason I post these, not that you're not aware of these things, but it may be a good time once again to remind people in your organization that if you do think an update is needed and you're getting links saying to update something, you may want to actually go, close that, go directly to the company and ensure that they do have an update that you need to install, because otherwise you're probably going to click and regret. But hey, that job for $675 an hour, it's out there, and all you got to do is receive these boxes from Russia and send them on to the next place. Yeah. Or various other offensive things. Speaking of fake leaks, fake trading apps on Google Play and Google's App Store have been luring victims into financial scams. Now, at the time of this article, the apps have been removed, but as you know, they removed the one called X app and put up Y app. So it doesn't take long before new ones get put up. And they said both that some of these had several thousand downloads already. This was from Group IB, who found the fraud. Now, these particular scams are called pig butchering scams, which are literally as old as scams themselves. There's some Sumerian tablets where Ninlil was promising a 5,000% return on loans made to others to grow barley. Yeah, I might have made that up. But anyway, pig butchering is a scam where they basically tell you you're going to be double, triple, quadruplify your money. And some of them are even, more subtle. Where they say that, like that $675 an hour job, if they say it's, $67 an hour or $100 an hour or whatever you think is reasonable, may actually start to sound more appealing. Some of these investment scams just, slightly better than, normal returns on your money. The sites usually have all sorts of info about the investments, the performance of the investments, all kinds of data showing the investments, because it's not hard to set that up. So, and you say, hey, what the hey? These clay tokens aren't earning any mash sitting around in my hut. I'm in. Let's do it. And if you don't know what mash is, it's Sumerian for interest. If you're wondering, you can look that up. I didn't make that up. But anyway, you invest your clay tokens and pray to Inky for a great harvest, and voila, the site shows you're earning clay tokens and mash hand over fist. Inky be praised. So you decide maybe pawn your rings and cash and, sell little Enlil's college fund to earn more mash, and damned if it didn't work. At this rate, I could borrow money from Adad, the storm god of loan sharks. But even at those ridiculous rates, I'm still making tons of money until one day you need to pay Adad back. And then you try to withdraw and you find out, there is no withdrawal. That doesn't work. And then the app goes away. But the fake apps were listed as tools for algebraic mathematical formula manipulation and 3D volume area calculators. But once you install them, they immediately pop up redirects to fake trading platforms which are listed as invitation only. And this is your once in a lifetime chance to get it on the ground floor, all the usual stuff. So be very, very careful about where you transfer money. And, they just basically get you can deposit all you want, but the minute you want some back, good luck. And do some research anything you think you may be investing in, do as much research as necessary and be careful. Ivanti is notifying admins to get their patching done ASAP, as there are new exploits running against Endpoint Manager in the wild. This particular exploit is really nasty, and it's an SQL injection which allows the attacker to upload files and execute commands, which could, of course, then execute those files on the server. Ivanti said in their October update that they were aware of a limited number of customers who have been exploited in the wild by these updates, which actually were first announced way back in May. The flaw can result in total remote control of your system, and that's never a good thing. CISA has already ordered federal agencies to update their Ivanti software using the federal patching directives in the United States, but CISA and I'm warning you, if you're using Ivanti, you really need to update, even if the law doesn't require you to. It's kind of like, it's not really illegal to drink this glass of unleaded gasoline, but it's probably not a good idea just because you can. So patch up. Speaking of things under active attack, Zimbra is another one. Zimbra, if you don't know it, is an email server. If you do know it, then go start patching it. But Zimbra is an email server, and according to Proofpoint, attackers have been sending spam emails which contain code that exploits a flaw in Zimbra. If a user opens the email, the attack tries to run against the Zimbra server, which is hosting the client. This exploit can allow the attacker to run remote code on the server, which essentially means they own you. These were sent out in spams where they had fake Gmail addresses in the CC field, and basically those fake addresses, the reply to addresses and CC'd addresses, contain the code. It's pretty clever, actually, and they get Zimbra to execute those as commands. And they are basically base 64 strings that are run with a SH command. So this is part exploit, and then they send these things out to see. When this first was revealed, a patch had not been released, and then reports of active exploitation were announced on Twitter, and then Zimbra put out patches. So you can update now, and Zimbra is advising you to do that, to update the latest release. End users are advised always to avoid opening unsolicited emails and don't click links that are unfamiliar. Of course, people try to pet buffalo and wolves, and they get, eaten alive by bears that they're trying to get selfies with and all this kind of stuff. So they're probably going to click that get rich quick link too. Yeah, with the XXX prawn domain. I mean, they will, that, and I know that too. So be prepared. Patch your Zimbra. An attacker using a new variant of Medusa Locker ransomware has infected more than 100 organizations a month since 2022 per Talos. That's Cisco's group. Talos recently found a Windows credential data dump that they said brought some light to this attacker. They named the attacker PaidMemes, and they said that PaidMemes is using a recent variant, which is called BabyLockerKZ, which inserts the word paid underscore memes into the malware plus some other tools. So it's probably just a fork of Medusa Locker. Talos said with, quote, medium confidence, whatever that means, that PaidMemes is financially motivated and working as an initial access broker or ransomware cartel affiliate. So, bad. The report said that they're not, unlike some of these groups, they said this group is not going after specific or industry-based targets or even targets of specific sizes. They just go after everyone. Their ransoms are $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000, so they're operating as a volume discounter in the ransomware business. So it's Crazy Eddie's slightly used ransomware where prices are insane. They out there, they want $75,000, $100,000, $200,000, but we are operating to clear volume at $25,000, $30,000, and $40,000. So come on down to Crazy Eddie's ransomware warehouse. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's like if you're a ransomware person, there's specialists who target large corporate, and then there's going to be volume discounters who just, fire the old shotgun and hope for the best. The attackers in this case use wrapper type tools around publicly available network scanners. They use malware to disable the endpoint detection, and then they use Mimikatz to dump Windows credentials. And it's like, oh, Mimikatz. We love you, Mimikatz. One of their wrappers is called Mimi, which uses Mimikatz, or it's called Mimics, which uses Mimikatz and rclone to steal the credentials and then upload them to the server in a kind of, subtle fashion. Small and medium businesses are particularly vulnerable to this group, as the small and medium businesses often don't use MFA, citing that it's too expensive to implement. And so they get exploited with their credentials. And of course, the credential exploitation can be done with Mimikatz, but it can also just be done with good old fashioned, credential stuffing attacks or even password spraying attacks. And they also usually don't have cyber insurance for the payout. And I'm going to warn you that before you pay these clowns, if you're a small, medium-sized business and you say, okay, we're going to take everybody's holiday bonus and pay this ransomware. If you haven't figured out how you got ransomware in the first place, as soon as you pay up, if they even give you the decryptor at all, they will ransomware you again. I mean, we've seen this happen. I've seen this happen. The company says, okay, we got ransomware. We paid $10,000 to get the decryptor. They gave it to us. We decrypted the software. 2 days later, we got ransomware again with the exact same message. And I'm like, yeah, because you haven't stopped up the holes. So they're just going to keep doing this to you until you run out of money or you fix it. So, seriously, if you are a small, medium business, it is time to start thinking about this pretty seriously, because people are coming for you too. I have had small business clients who told me, we aren't worried about this because they just typically go after the big players, and we don't have enough money. And I'm like, they will come after you too. I mean, there's ransoms of about $300, right? A court in Massachusetts has rejected efforts by Uber to force a blind man's discrimination claim to be settled in their private arbitration. Now, you'll recall that Disney thing. We talked about this maybe a month or so ago, where, because you had gone to Disney World or you had actually subscribed to Disney Plus, you clicked yes on an agreement that, on some of the many tentacles that Disney owns, you waived all kinds of rights. And so someone got injured in a Disney park, and they had clicked yes on Disney Plus, and sorry, we don't have to, we're going to send you to private arbitration. that we control. Now, having clicked a few of those myself, I mean, I've clicked more than a couple of these agreements, and subsequently, I ended up agreeing to marry a person from Nanjing so I could get a 2% discount on Taylor Swift tickets in Frankfurt. I get it. I mean, you get this thing, you're wanting to buy something, you're wanting to get a ticket or whatever. It says agree, disagree. Please read the agreement, blah, blah, blah. Now, in this case, the person was trying to sign up. It was a blind person trying to sign up for an Uber account several years ago. And a third screen out of there was 3 screens of legalese. On the third screen, it offered a link titled Link Payment. So you could set up ways to pay for your Uber rides. Below this link on the third page, it said, by creating an account, you agree to the terms and conditions and privacy policy. You could click to read these. There was a link, but you didn't have to. So don't worry, you'll have to read them now, or at least scroll through them. So he just clicked the I agree button. When 3 drivers then subsequently refused to give him rides because he had a guide dog, I'm like, really, guys? They sued Uber for discrimination. The link that was clicked unread required arbitration, and the arbitrator subsequently ruled against the person and said, oh, no, drivers are independent contractors. Uber's not responsible for this. But on appeal, the highest court in Massachusetts accepted the argument that this was never a contract since he hadn't been required to read it, and sent the case back to lower court. Now, it's not clear how this is going to shake out, but I'll bet you in the future you'll have to scroll through 600 pages of legalese to get an account on Uber. Pretty soon that the AI lawyer pop-up will pop up to advise you and interact with the Uber AI lawyers, and probably launch terminators if you don't agree. But at least they'll advise you on how to deal with the AI lawyer on the other end. So the whole case goes to AI court. It's all resolved in 21 microseconds without need of talking to you. A pistol pops out and executes you on the spot as your AI appeals are all exhausted. Case closed. I think that was a plot of Twilight Zone or Star Trek or something. I swear there was one. I think it was Star Trek where it was Star Trek. They resolve the whole case, like you're just walking around and the whole case gets resolved instantaneously and you don't even know what happened. Yeah, it was Star Trek for sure. Not original series. This other article here is another warning that you can share about using AI assistants. So Alex Bilzerian, who's a big investor, said that after a Zoom meeting with some capital investors, he received an automated email from Otter.ai, which is a transcription service if you've never seen it. And it had an AI meeting assistant that was providing him with an email transcript of the entire Zoom meeting, including the part after he logged out of the meeting, when the investors thought they had the rooms to themselves and started talking about their firm's strategic failures and cooked metrics. Yeah. Did you know this? If you're in a classroom, like I'm in my classroom, so hey, students, pay attention. In my classroom, I can turn on the transcriptions on PowerPoint, and it will show me what all the people in the back room are whispering about before class or during class. Yeah, not that I would do that, of course. Not that I would ever read that you're talking about how much you hate me before class. Yeah. But anyway, Bilzerian wisely killed this deal as a result of this AI bot sort of oversharing. I mean, I guess he was pretty happy about it. But just a quick warning, AI is all around you. It's starting to infest everything, including your desktop, your phone, and they're all listening. And the AIs have not learned discretion at this point. So can you imagine getting transcriptions of the whole room before and after some of the presentations you've done? I would love to see those. It would be awesome. Like, what is the audience talking about before you actually walked out on stage? And they're like, who is this idiot? Yeah, that kind of stuff could be interesting. But in this case, it was really bad. Well, fresh back from a 35-show tour of his one-man show, Mary Todd Leakin sings the collected works of Elton John. It's Aaran Leyland. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Dr. Doug, how's it going?
Great. How are you?
Great. Thanks very much for you and Josh coming to visit my New York office on Wednesday. It was very well received. Speaking geniuses.
I got to be in the company of Josh.
Right. Everybody should hire Doug and Josh to come speaking in person at their actual company.
Yeah, it would be great. We had a fun time. Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. And the reason that Doug and Josh came to my company, this is a great segue. October is Cybersecurity Month. Way! I hear you say. Or woo, oh no, please. I wish it was November. Okay, October is Cybersecurity Month. Definitely not as fun as Christmas, but serves as a useful reminder that we can all enhance our online security. Cyber scams are a significant threat, and scammers employ various online techniques and tactics. These scams can be harsh, malicious, and manipulative, causing emotional distress that can sometimes rival the financial impact. Okay, we all know many people that have fallen for them. So, also, while you cyber pros are probably all over this is a really good reminder for your family and friends. You can pass it on to them, or you can get them to listen to the show. Probably get them to listen to the show, because we do have big numbers, but we'd love bigger numbers. I love undecillion, but I don't think that's possible. Okay, so be wary of shopping scams. Convenience makes online shopping the first stop for many of us, but this can sometimes overshadow the risks posed by fraudulent websites and sellers. Scammers often create sophisticated websites that mimic legitimate retailers. It's so easy, as we know, offering huge discounts on popular products. These fake sites can compromise your financial information and personal data. So, what do you do when online shopping? Research the seller before making the purchase. Conduct a thorough background check on the seller of the website. Look for customer reviews and ratings from trusted sources to gauge their reliability. Do remember that reviews, like most of them probably, and ratings can be fixed or bought. Mostly they're all bought, aren't they? Everybody's received some from China and then received a little card in the post that goes, okay, if you rate us 5 stars, then type into this WhatsApp group and we'll send you another product. It happens all the time. Actually happened to me last week. Go China, rocking it, absolutely killing the ratings. Okay, a security app that screens online stores and the reviews automatically saves you from the trouble of investigating shops. Yeah, it's hard. Okay. Of course, a lot of browsers look after this these days anyway, but ensure that websites use HTTPS encryption. This is the padlock icon for people that don't know in the browser's address bar and protects your sensitive information during transactions. Do not send any personal details or payments over HTTP. Most of your browsers won't let it anyway, as this can be intercepted by criminals. Exercise caution with unbelievable deals. Woohoo! If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Scammers often lure victims with unrealistically low prices on high demand items to exploit their trust. Taylor Swift tickets, Oasis tickets, rah. Even my super smart cousin fell for one of these recently, buying something in Italy, and he is super smart. You weren't that smart that day, were you, bozo? Delivering faster than the UK was. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Investment scams. Investment scams prey on individuals seeking financial growth. These are rife all over Indian stuff, or stability, promoting fast, lucrative returns with minimal risk. These schemes can take various forms, including Ponzi schemes, fake cryptocurrency, investments in fraudulent trading platforms. Before investing your money, there are crucial steps to take. Research the credentials and legitimacy of any financial advisor or investment company before committing funds. Just go on the websites, look at their actual website. There should be plenty of information available on I forgot I wrote that, on legitimate investment services. Can't find any? Then don't invest, because they're not real, right? Be wary of investment opportunities that guarantee high returns with little or no risk. Yeah, high returns comes big risk, doesn't it? If it says high returns, no risk, well, it's lying to you, isn't it? Remember, all investments carry some degree of risk, and legitimate advisors will inform you about potential risks and rewards. They have to, because it's law. Avoid pressure tactics. Scammers can create a sense of urgency. This is what they do to prompt quick decisions. Take your time thoroughly, research and validate investment opportunities before making financial commitments. someone that really wants you to invest, that's real and above board, they will not put a time pressure on you. If somebody's putting a time pressure on you, it's wrong, right? Social media scams. Social media platforms offer scammers a broad audience and anonymity, making it easy for them to create fake profiles and exploit trusting users. Common social media scams include phishing attempts, fake giveaways, and impersonations of friends or celebrities. The most popular social media platform for scammers by far is Facebook, and it's like they do nothing about it. Ooh, Zimmerberg. 78% of social media scams take place there. However, scams can be encountered anywhere. Okay, how do you protect yourself? Be cautious of friends' requests from unfamiliar accounts, or the lady with the nice face, or profiles with limited activity and personal information. Remember, there's never any obligation to accept friend requests from strangers. Do not share personal information and don't send money to unknown contacts. We all know the one. It's like, I'm your son. I need money. You need to send me it now. Like, I'm going to die and stuff. Okay. And there we go. I should read before I talk. Even if they claim they are your family member. If you aren't sure someone is who they say they are, you can try and contact the person directly to verify, ideally in person, even better video call. Okay, avoid clicking on links. We always say this, don't we? Even if they appear to be from trusted contacts. Scammers can compromise accounts and distribute malicious links that lead to phishing sites or malware downloads. Don't pay upfront in social media marketplace for used goods. Why would you do that? People do it. Everybody, lots of people do it. And somebody's going to come around and buy it unless you give me the money now. Well, just don't have the product because it doesn't exist anyway. Ask for a video or additional photos, and once again, avoid unbelievable offers. Romance scams. Ooh, nobody romance scams me. Do you know, when I used to work in jobs that might have had something worth telling, I always thought it'd be honey trapped. Am I too ugly for a honey trap? Maybe. Okay, romance scams exploit emotions and trust, often beginning with a connection forged online. Scammers build relationships over time and manipulate victims into sending money or personal information under false pretenses. Hundreds of millions of pounds are lost to romance scams every year, and that's just from me. Here's what to do when engaging in online relationships. Crazy. Take time to get to know someone before trusting them with personal information. Be wary if the relationship progresses very quickly. Yeah. Depending if you're on that site, because you're on that site, if it doesn't progress quickly, they're probably the scammer. Anyway, or if the person avoids face-to-face or video interactions, just have a video call. Why not? Rip the Band-Aid off. Avoid financial transactions. Never send money, gifts, or personal details to someone you haven't met in person, regardless of their emotional appeals or suggested emergencies. I see ones online all the time on sort of social media groups, and it's literally a person that has a very young baby, and they're like, can someone just give me a couple of dollars for bottled milk type thing? It's like, it's a scam. They don't really exist. They're taking heroin. Seek advice from trusted friends or family members. Gain perspective on the relationship dynamics, especially if they're trying to get you to send money or personal information. Okay, quick story. I used to work with a guy, let's call him Silly, as that rhymes with his actual name. The silly Billy got his willy out on Skype, only for it to be recorded and sent to tons of friends on Facebook. When he would not pay the second round of extortion, think about that, second round, the silly Billy, as I say, had already paid, and of course they will come back. Okay, finally, what you can do to avoid online scams. Don't go on the internet. Verify sources. Always confirm the legitimacy of emails, messages, and websites. Small errors in the sender's email addresses and website URLs, stop, look, and listen, can often expose their fraudulent nature. Use strong passwords, two-factor authentication. Implement shopping protection. Use a security app. If you use, I always use PayPal. Use have Venmo, and you can have protection, seller protection, so at least you might be able to get some money back there. Update software, use antivirus, all the good things. Educate yourself, listen to Security Weekly News, get your family listen to Security Weekly News. This is a great show to coerce is a bad word, gently inform them that this is really informative and right at their level. Okay, if you do come across scams, scams, you should report them to the relevant authorities. I had to do that for my cousin recently. I had to Google how to do it. Okay, I'm back to our silly Billy, who would not show us his back to Doug on the island. Bye. Oh, peace out.
Well, I certainly agree with all that. Anytime money's involved, be very, very careful and always, think twice. And something we always tell people is, count to 10 before you click send or whatever. And when people are, and the more pressure they put on you to pay or to transfer crypto or whatever, the more likely it is it's a scam. So just always, be a cynical type, and it'll help. It hopefully. Thank you, Aaron. Perfctl, Perfect Control. I don't know how you want to say it. Perfctl is a malware that has been around since 2021, and it gets installed by exploiting. It's a very clever malware. It exploits more than 20,000 common misconfigurations in Linux. And for a long, long time, a lot of Linux users were always saying we don't have malware because people don't write malware for Linux, but they do. And Linux is very easy to misconfigure and has, believe me, if you've never set that up. The process in this case is called Perfctl. So it is a process name that is, it looks like something maybe in the system. And they tend to run other processes that have the same names as other Linux processes that are maybe not running on that system, or very, sophisticated looking ones, or similar, like almost typo squatting type names. It's really stealthy. And it has a lot of different features to stop itself if somebody new logs in. It uses Unix sockets over Tor, so you can't see that, what it's doing. It basically deletes its own installation binary after it's installed and runs as a background service, so you won't even see it. And it suppresses message, any kind of error messages or warning messages get suppressed. So it's really hard to detect that it's there. So am I making you nervous yet? It's like me telling you that, that there might be bed bugs in your hotel room. You don't see them, but they're there, and scabies, those kind of fun things. Yeah. But are you itching yet? But if you're a Linux user, anytime you start hearing about these things, you get a little itchy. But besides, using your machine to mine crypto, which was one of its initial functions, it also can turn your machine into a proxy, which allows it to support profit-making services for these guys by allowing customers to relay and bounce their internet traffic off your server, which would both hide it maybe, and as well as, other features. Symptoms of this, of course, include the usual. So CPU usage spike, system slowdown during idle times, and there are some other linkages to indicators of compromise. Some of this can then turn into kind of hypochondria. I mean, all of us as server administrators have been there at some point, and we've certainly had calls from users saying, I don't know why this is going on. And usually it's nothing, something weird, the monitor cable was loose. I had one once where they said, they thought they had a virus. It was probably really bad because the monitor kept flickering. And I went down there, I was like, did you check your cables? And they were like, oh yeah, I checked them 10 times. And you go back there and, plug the cable in and it stops doing it. And you're like, there you go, virus averted. But it could also be something like this. But you might, excuse me right now, I'm going to go check all my machines. I'm getting a little scratchy. Thanks. And that is the news. Thank you, Aaron. And we'll all see you next time on the Security Weekly News. Enjoy October.